this week are focused on what they consider the #1 priority for them. That's why they labeled the bill S1, H.R. 1. It is the Democrats' #1 priority, and they are wanting to rig the rules of the Senate to get it passed. Now, that doesn't mean it's the #1 priority of the American people. People across the country are concerned about things like inflation and COVID and crime in the cities and the crisis at the southern border. But for the Democrats, they think the #1 thing affecting the country is they want Washington to take over elections in the United States. So what really is the most important questions? Well, Gallup had a recent poll on this. And what Gallup says is the #1 issue is economy, poor leadership at the federal level, COVID, immigration, and this issue of election reform, that came in at number 23. It was only an asterisk in the Gallup poll as an issue of concern for the American people, when the American people know what's of concern to them. So Senator Blunt mentioned local election officials. I've heard from our Secretary of State, Ed Buchanan, and let me just share a few of the things that he says about elections. And he says, #1, I'm writing to oppose and express my opposition to the Democrats' attempt to federalize our elections. He goes on and says Senator Schumer's statements are offensive on their face, suggesting that Republican-led state legislators pass laws designed for the purpose of voter suppression, he says, is slanderous and is a political lie to the American people. He said, interestingly, in Senator Schumer's home state of New York, they are moving forward in some jurisdictions with plans to allow non-citizens to vote. Based on this, he says, it is clear that Democrats want to change the rules whenever they think they can gain an advantage at the polls. He goes on, this is right in line with their wish to change the filibuster rules in the U.S. Senate. Because the Democrat agenda does not resonate with everyday working Americans, they must resort to less than honorable tactics. They do not seem to understand that it is their misguided policies giving catalyst to rising energy and food costs that are their biggest impediments to election, not Republican state legislatures that want to protect election integrity. And to me, that's what it's about: ballot integrity, ballot accountability, ballot security, and that's what we're here fighting to defend.